actually wrote fiction,
Right.
but the characters are using the systems. So instead of making it a dry textbook style book, I created a story, gave the characters the challenges that you have in business during different phases of your business development, and then I had them do the things that get you where you need to go. And so Also then communicate with yourself, which is how you organize your own world and how you make your goals and things like that. So if I had to boil it down to one thing, I would say it's communication.
And either with that or with another piece of advice, it's the beginning of 2025. People that I interviewed later in the year, it'll be a different type of question, but people are starting their year. What's something you advise them to think about to have a better business and a better, more abundant life?
What I would advise to have a better business and a better life at the same time would be you can have it all. You really can. You can
Yes, you
have it
can.
all. You don't have to pick. So that's what I would advise, that you don't resign yourself to reveal to him over the course of the movie is how complete his life really was. And I believe you can have a complete life.
Isn't it interesting that movie, as old as it is, has not only stood the test of time, it has never left number one position.
I know.
Okay. Next one. What song gets you going?
What song gets me going? Don't Stop Believing, vitality and energy that I can as I go. So I think there has been so much focus on the work that I've done, and I'm proud of the work that I've done. But I feel that if my philosophy.
Gina St. George, I want to wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you.
So you're on the Dr. Smiley Show, and this is a new format we're trying out: 365 days, 365 birthdays. And I choose someone that brings just an exorbitant amount of smiles and energy, and just really shows up in the world as a leader, and is not afraid to be on stage or feel that sharing abundance doesn't create more abundance in a better world. So thank you.
Thank you. And it's so great to be here with you. And thank you for recognizing my birthday.
You're welcome. You know, our paths have crossed so many times, I lost count. We have Craig Duswalt, which is more of a recent, the mastermind, his events. Then we had the Markers Cruise and Bill Walsh's events. It's just been a multitude. And, you know, there's people that say when you're doing the personal development and the leadership space, it gets really small, you know, kind of everybody. And so
Yeah.
we've had good fortune of bumping into each other a lot of times.
Quite a lot, yes. And I'm happy to call you a friend.
Well, likewise. So I'll share vulnerably a bump that I had. I committed to doing a show a day and 365 for the year. And yesterday, my two guests just couldn't make it for whatever reason. And so I had a void, and it was 3 for 4. And today is now 4 for 5. And you were like, oh my gosh, that's great. And you know, that's the way I thought of it too. I said, if I do a show a day and I miss a day, I just do another show another day and I catch up. So 365 is a number that is attainable, and I have some people that have a lot of birthdays on a given day. So the idea of the show is that we're going to introduce you to a lot of people that would benefit in knowing you, and that just can follow you and learn and celebrate you. And then the other thing is for you to give some secrets of how you can have a better 2025, and just how you help some of your clients. And this is a shorter call because I want you to enjoy your birthday. There was football you were watching, I think, right?
Um, I wasn't actually watching it. I was half watching it, but I had to come out to the patio because even if I shut the door, there's too much noise in the house because there are people screaming at the television.
And you're, if I recall, you're located in Canada because it's nice and cold, brisk.
As you can tell, I'm outside and it's actually quite warm. Actually, no, it's chilly. I had to wear long sleeves today
Yeah.
because it's like 78 degrees. So and there's a breeze, so it's a little chilly here in Fort Lauderdale.
Well, I have a friend of mine who made a book with me called World Power, and I just picked the fifth card, and it's aleatory, and it depending on the throw of dice or on chance. So that's what aleatory means. And this is a deck of cards. So this is also something we're doing, a word of the day. Do you have a word that you do a day? Do you have a word that you'd like to share for people to learn today?
Well, my word, generally speaking, is system because that's my thing.
That's
Um,
that's your groove.
that's my groove. Because I think that life is better and business is better when we operate within systems. So that's usually what I talk about. That's usually what I'm working on. And so if I had a word every day, it would be that. I like your idea of picking a different word every day to inspire you, though. I should try that. Can I buy that deck of cards?
Not only that, I'll make sure that when I see you next time, if I mean they're on Amazon, by the way, but
Oh,
yes, I will make sure that you get a deck. You're one of my strategic partners. And it's good to have a strategic partner that loves the word system and believes in systems, because when you have someone that needs a little help with systems, I'm so happy. I'm more, visionaries are not as good with systems. They just are too big on the not putting all that stuff together. So thank you for your help that you've given us so far, the advice you've given us so far, and I'm just looking forward to all of it, just multiplying in abundance because we're working together. And you have a book or two.
I have several, yes. And
Well,
they're what I did was I actually wrote fiction,
right.
but the characters are using the systems. So instead of it making it a dry textbook style book, I created a story, gave the characters the challenges that you have in business during different phases of your business development, and then I had them do the things that get you where you need to go. And so my series is called Arrival, and so I have different characters who are in different types of businesses, who are friends with each other and support each other, and they demonstrate all the right things to do throughout the story.
So the cool thing is you're going to be on a show later this year when you have a big event or you have a new launch of one of your books, and we're excited about whatever we're doing to help either publish, market, to get you out there more. And that will be the show where you're going to do more of a reveal, a deeper dive. But today, I want people to know how you became who you are. For a word system, I can imagine you as a child, just like you had certain toys and you systematized. How'd that
Um,
happen?
I'm not sure that that was actually true back then. I I was the third child in my family. I have two older brothers. My father was a mechanical engineer, and my father was very bright. It wasn't until I was an adult and I read his resume, I saw he had a list of patents this long at the bottom of his resume. I'm like, damn, Dad, I had no idea. But so I grew up with a father as a mechanical engineer, and neither of my brothers really took to technical subject matter. Neither of them wanted to go that way. And so I ended up studying chemical engineering in college because I wanted to do what my brothers didn't, which is a terrible motivation to, to just do that. I'm not going to lie. But that actually was a lot of my underlying motivation. But I took to it. And what a lot of people who study chemical engineering will tell you is they'll say, the reason I went into chemical engineering is because I'm good at math and science, and I specifically liked chemistry. That was true for me. I think most 18-year-olds have no idea what the profession entails. But what ended up happening is I went to work in the chemical industry after I graduated, and and I took to the business side of
Hmm.
things faster than I did being like a pure engineer, being a design person, being an engineer's engineer. But what I took to was business process.
Hmm.
And so, like, from the very beginning of my career, there was so much around business process that I learned. I worked for a large corporation where there's systems and process. I mean, companies that get big because they have structure. Um, so I was trained in that very early in my career, and then after going through 6 reorganizations in 10 years, that was not fun. That's one of the major downsides of having a corporate job, is that that's the kind of environment you're in. I went to work for a smaller company, and I got to be a bigger fish in a smaller pond. And I learned how well trained I was. I had no idea. Like, I took all this training for granted that I'd gotten in this environment, and I got to go use it and it was still a big company, but it was way smaller than the one I had come from. And after a while, I burned out on that. It took me 6 years to burn out on that. I was a road warrior. I worked a lot, and my marriage fell apart. And at that point in time, I said, it's time for me to look at my life and the decisions that I've made, like what got me here. Here I am. I'm highly esteemed by my colleagues, and I've got all these accomplishments that I can list, but my God, my personal life is a complete mess. So it was at that moment in time that I decided I needed to do something else. I started seeking, and on my path of seeking a better thing, I met the person who was the love of my life, and who would later become my business partner. And he had founded from scratch two small businesses. And like you, he was a visionary. And the world needs visionaries. So I would never criticize you and your style. The world needs visionaries, because if everybody was like me, there would be no risk. There'd be no new. It would just be, let's reorganize the deck chairs and like, right. So he was that kind of visionary, and I was looking for a change. And he said, my God, I need someone like you in my business. We became partners in business and life. And I moved to Florida, which is where I still live. And when I went to work for him, with him, I realized, thinking, I'm going to have all this freedom, all this freedom. I'm going to be in a small business. I'm going to be a business owner, and it's going to be so much better. I'm going to have all this freedom. And what I learned is that small businesses often don't have good systems and structure, and small business owners are overworked. I worked harder than I had ever worked. And here I thought I was burned out and, road warrior and working too much. No, the benefit was that we worked together.
Right.
So, like, our relationship was very enmeshed in being business partners and in being partners in life. So I became my first client, and we restructured both of those businesses. One of them, we were able to sell to a multinational corporation, which was great. One of them continues operating. And unfortunately, he died in 2021. And I knew the value of systems, but it became evident to even me, and surprised even me, how well things ran when I was distracted and not functioning very well for a period of time. So I became a believer in that. So during this period of time, I became my first client. But then we started, after we sold the one company, that was when we started doing consulting work. And I said, I accomplished this. Business process was always my thing. But now I realize, like, how much small business owners need it. They need it regardless of what they want. So if they say, I like being a small business, I don't want any more than this, then you still need good systems so that your business doesn't run you and that you can actually get your life back. But if you actually want to grow, you're not going to get there unless you have good systems, and then you can plug key people into your systems and operate your company. So I recognized all of that. I lived it. And that was a long answer to your question. I'm sorry. But
well, no, this is about, no, because you were telling your story about you and how you became you. So it's a 3 to 5 minute answer, and it can go longer because it's your birthday. You can do whatever you want to.
So I can talk longer if it's.
Well, yeah, you can cry if you want to.
Yeah, that's how I got to where I am. Kind of a circuitous path, but I couldn't possibly believe any more in my subject matter and what I do than I do. I believe in it. I've seen the difference it can make, and I know it even from my personal experience.
And that is how you became who you are.
That's how I became who I am today.
And define your purpose again.
My purpose is to enable small business owners to, and it doesn't matter what kind of business they have. I do a lot of work with law firms, for example. And law firms are just a small business. I mean, you may be practicing law, but you're a small business. That's what you do. But my purpose is for small business owners to have the life that they want. Our tagline is thrive, for my lawyer track, it's thrive in law and life. And for my non-lawyer track, my tagline is that you can have a thriving business and a great life at the same time. And that was why I was talking about how it doesn't matter what you want out of business, even if you want it to be a little thing that you do, you still need systems for the business to not run you, because you could be really successful thriving in business, but not thrive in life because you're consumed by your business.
Well,
And
without taking I guess too much of the beautiful content and IP that you have and destroying a 1 hour show that I'd like to have with you. What is one piece of the system that is usually missing that hurts a business so much?
the one piece that is missing, um, communication probably is the biggest one, because you communicate with customers, uh, you communicate internally with team members. Um, so you might call that a task, but really you need instructions and standards for how things are done,
Uh-huh.
and when things get done. So you're going to communicate externally, and when and how you communicate is really important. And then you communicate internally, when and how you communicate is important. But you also then communicate with yourself, which is how you organize your own world, and how you make your goals and things like that. So if I had to boil it down to one thing, I would say it's communication.
And either with that or with another piece of advice, it's the beginning of 2025. People that I interviewed later in the year, it'll be a different type of question, but people are starting their year. What's something you advise them to think about to have a better business and a better, more abundant life?
What I would advise to have a better business and a better life at the same time would be, you can have it all. You really can. You can
Yes,
have
you
it
can.
all. You don't have to pick. So that's what I would advise, that you don't resign yourself to, either I have to stay small because I can't do the things to be bigger, or I have to live for my business and I have to sacrifice things in my personal life. I believe you can have it all. I believe you can be a complete person. I think you can have rich relationships with people who are not people you do business with, like your spouse and your kids, for example. Um, so that would be the piece of advice that I'd give everyone, is stop thinking about what you have to give up, and understand that you actually can have it all if you structure things correctly.
That was a very nice combination of system with philosophy. And of course, the more methodology you have in that, I guess the reality of it happens for you. So
Right.
okay, so we're gonna have a show. I don't know when. It'll probably be middle of the year.
Okay.
That'll be our check-in on what you've been doing with us, Perfect Publishing, and maybe even my entertainment company that just kind of sits docile, waiting to be sold, not knowing what to do with it. So I'm looking forward to what
I'm
I can.
looking forward to helping you with that.
Thank you, thank you. So we have five questions I like to ask people because it's, to me, it's how they're programmed. And when people love who you become, they're learning some of the keys of how you were programmed, and they can take some of that programming and adapt it to themselves and become a version of you. So,
Mhm.
so the first question is, what book changed your life?
Um, the book that I love the most, that I read every year, and it's a quick read, you can read it in one sitting, is The Four Agreements.
Day two. I've had that 2 days in a row.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. My
It's a great book, and it's a nice quick read, and it's a good way to think about your life.
okay, cool, very cool. What movie inspires you?
Um, oh, inspires.
Or
Yes.
okay, okay. However you want to say the context of that, whether it inspires you or you just got to see it on a regular basis,
You,
whatever.
you know what? I think the movie that I would have to list, again, in keeping with my philosophy of positive thinking and being the best you can be, is It's a Wonderful Life. Because it's beautiful that he doubts so much about what he built and what his life had become, and what is revealed to him over the course of the movie is how complete his life really was. And I believe you can have a complete life.
Isn't it interesting that movie, as old as it is, has not only stood the test of time, it has never left number one position.
I know.
Okay. Next one. What song gets you going?
What song gets me going? Don't Stop Believing.
Okay. Good old journey.
Yeah, a little journey.
Little
I
journey.
remember when that song was getting a lot of radio play. That was like, I was the age where I was just starting to listen to the radio a lot, and I remember hearing that a lot, and I loved it. But as I've gone through life, I think it's also a great way to think.
It is. Who's your hero?
My hero. I think my hero would be my late life partner, Andy Sokol, because he faced a lot of hardship in his life. And the guy always had a smile. And he always was a positive thinker. I learned so much by sharing my life with someone who operated the way he did. And I'm grateful for it. And I miss him, but I'm very grateful that I got to share my life with someone like that. And now, as I'm doing new things, sometimes I'm stretching my comfort, and he stretched all the time. And I often ask myself, what would Andy do? So I try to channel Andy whenever I'm doubting things.
That's beautiful. You know, I want to say I see the spirit in people when I take their picture and I have the smile card. And he certainly was one at peace. He was certainly one that lived life with gratitude.
He did. He
Yep,
did.
very easy. And what quote do you live by, Gina?
What quote do I live by? I have to say it would have to be a Deming quote about systems, and that quote is, if you can't explain what you do in terms of a system, then you actually don't know what you're doing.
Very good. And by the way, there are people that make buying decisions because they hear there is a system, and so if you don't have one, you just lost all them too.
Yeah.
So it's not just that you can't explain it, but if people can't buy something they don't understand if they buy that way. Not everyone
Right.
buys that way. It's just like there's visionaries that would say, "Well, what? How's that going to benefit me, or how's that going to change my life, et cetera?" But I wanted to ask you, I guess, a bonus question.
Okay.
Bonus question.
I didn't get to prepare for this one. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Well, I know we took 5 hours to prepare for the show, so this is crazy. So, what do you want for your birthday, and what do you want for your birthday for your year?
Oh, you know what's great about having a birthday at the beginning of the year is that I contemplate my life, and I think about what I want for me at the beginning of the year. And so I turn another year older at the same time that the year is new.
Yeah,
So like what I think about my own life, I can think about what I want out of the coming year at the same time that everyone's talking about New Year's resolutions. And one of my resolutions this year is to focus on my health
good.
because and not that I'm unhealthy, because I'm reasonably healthy, but I'm not getting any younger, and none of us are. And I want to age well and have all the vitality and energy that I can as I go. So I think there has been so much focus on the work that I've done, and I'm proud of the work that I've done. But I feel that um, if my philosophy is that you can have it all, you can also have the time and space to focus on yourself and your well-being. So that's going to be a greater focus for me in the coming year. That I'm going to be healthy and take care of me.
Well, knowing you, I can always almost go in your brain and see the system of vitality.
Yes, there will be. I promise you. There will be. It's actually under construction right now, where I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out what my system should be to make sure that I'm building the right habits every day, that it all fits into the habits that I've had. But yes, it will become part of a system. I promise you.
Well, there's two more. There's two more things. One is that we share a love, and it is cats.
Yes, I love cats. I have
Yeah.
three.
And since you're a cool cat person, I just had to make sure that was included in the show. Is that you talk about how cool your cats are and their behavior, and you and I've had a couple of just like nice laughs about how cats are great companions.
They are great companions, and they never let you down.
They don't let you down. No, they don't. And the last thing, from my standpoint, and then I want the person who has the birthday to have the last word, is you did it right today. You came to the show when you wanted to, and you got a massage.
Thank
And
you.
I want to applaud you because that's something you should do on your birthday. You should say, "Pamper me,
That
baby."
is, and that's why my hair doesn't look that good
Mine
because
doesn't either, but I didn't even
my
get a
my
massage.
I got a massage, and like I'm like, oh my God, I brushed my hair. I'm like, oh my God, my hair is greasy. It's kind of oily, and I have to go talk to Ken with my hair being kind of funky.
Well, everyone thinks I got a massage because my hair looks so bad. I'm like, I didn't get a massage today.
Yes.
Okay, so anything else you'd like to say to the world before we say it's a concluded, beautiful show?
You can have it all.
Yes, you.
Design what you want. So when we talk about systems, you have to design the system for the system to operate. I think life is that same way. You design what you want, you say what it will be, and you endeavor to do that. And you can have it be whatever you want it to be, but you have to design it and live with intention. And so, like any aspect of living, like we're talking about business, but really any aspect of living is if you design it and you operate with intention, it's going to be good. So you can have it all, choose what you want, decide, and then go do it.
Yeah, in a way, it's a circular thing. The more you treat your business as a system, the more you have your life as a system, and you're able to enjoy life the way it should be enjoyed. So I love
Yeah.
that. How can people reach you, connect with you, follow you, buy from you, celebrate you?
Well, the best way to contact me is on my website, which is I actually have a website that is my name is GinaSt George.com.
What a
But I
coincidence!
also
Is
have
that
I
is
also
that not a coincidence?
that is like isn't that a crazy coincidence? It's actually being redesigned right now. So, but there's a form you can fill out and contact me there. You can also reach me on Business Results Systems. So it's plural results and plural systems. Businessresultsystems.com.
Do you have
And
any IG action, Instagram action?
I do have an Instagram account using my name, and
These are
you can find me on
coincidences left
Facebook
and
or
right. I cannot
LinkedIn.
believe
What's that?
there's so many coincidences. Your name is your website. It's your
Oh
IG.
my
Wow.
God.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah. So yeah, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, and I have a website with my name and a website with my business name.
Perfect. All right. Well, this is Ken Rochon celebrating Gina St. George on her birthday, January 5th. And thank you for being a guest today.
Thank you.
And the show is about honoring people that make a difference in the world, amplifying the goodness, and also how they bring community together. So thank you, Gina.
Thank
And
you.
we'll see you in a couple of months, if not later this year, to have a full divulge of all the system secrets.
Yes.
All right. Peace. Happy New Year.
Please. Thank you.